What's up, everybody? It's your favorite final pieces of the puzzle, favorite nerd, and today we are looking at Warbotron Strafe, which is their Double Strike. It comes with a few accessories. We'll talk about them later, for the most part, at least halfway. This is combiner stuff. You know, when everybody freaked out with, but the one doesn't have the combiner pieces that I need. And I told you to just take it easy and calm down. I'm sure that it'll come in the future. It came in the future, and these are them, and we'll talk about them as we get there. And then he comes with these two kind of signature handguns that are utilized in alt mode. They're pretty good. We got translucent plastics, we got silver paint, and you know, fair enough. And then the handles on a hinge, and let's see if he can hold them. Oh, like a champ, no problems. There. And then he comes with this piece here, which is a translucent piece with a silver tip, so to speak, and that can slide down into the back. Nice, easy for me to say. Let's see here. Should be able to go there. Oh boy, I didn't even notice that. We got a spring-loaded cannon. I don't know how I feel about that. And mine's not really working anyway. Let me see if I can't. Let's see. Oh wait, there we go. Or do we? Oh, there it is. Wow. Wow. It's like Kenner Arctic Blast Batman up in this joint. But anyway, there he is. And those are his accessories, and now we'll talk about the figure. The head is on a hinge that's connected to a ball joint. Not much range in the head. You can cheat with the hinge and get the look down. Nothing really up, side to side is fine. We got red paint on there and translucent plastics. And with the translucent plastic, of course, we have our light piping, which works fine. I'll tell you, I'm not a big fan of light piping in general, but it's there if you like it. So good news for you, perhaps. I see a stress mark already. Shoulders are on a hinge at the chest to get up and down. Full range there, Andrew. Full range. And a swivel here, so it's like a universal joint. It goes all the way around, no problem. And we have a bicep swivel. We have this piece of kibble here, which is not the worst thing in the world, really, aesthetically, but it's definitely there. Red paint on there. A little fuzzy around the lines, around the edges, but not terrible. Right. Single jointed elbow, but it gets you the full range, at least to 90, a little past 90 degrees. And then the wrists are on a very tight, I'm going to take this off, a very tight swivel, and then you get a bit of a hinge, and the fingers are on a single pin at the base knuckle for a hinge. Same on the other side. Chest, we have paint here on these bat nipples, so to speak. We got gold paint, we got this gunmetal type gray paint, and it all looks good, it all looks clean, it all looks sharp. He cleans up exceptionally well, but that's never really this guy's problem in any sort of company's take on him. He just must lend himself that way. If you lift this up a little bit, you get the full waist swivel that's on there. No issues there. And then we have universal joints for hips that are frictioned out to the side, getting you the full split, the Chuck Norris split on the fitness thing, you remember that? And the ratcheted front and back, also not hindered. This little circle there is a bit distracting, not the biggest deal in the world, just pointing it out. And then silver paint there on the pelvis as well. Gold paint on the thighs looks pretty good. The knees, somewhat problematic if you don't move the wings out of the way in order to get you 90 degrees. Keeping the wings in their proper kind of stowed manner does hinder you to about 4 degrees. But outside of that, it's okay. We got silver paint there, gray paint, gold paint, translucent plastics, silver paint, red paint. So there's no limit of paint, even on the back of the pelvis. Look at that. I like stuff like that. I do. And then the feet, you got a toe tilt just up, not down, and a kind of a cheat of an ankle rocker. Not a proper ankle rocker, but it will do. It's a bit of a cheat. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but it's there. Underside of here is painted as well, so that's nice. And that is this guy in a nutshell. Let's transform on racing against the battery clock here. So take off the accessories. I should also note that this backpack here, you can have it up like this if you prefer. This way you don't have to move it to get the waist swivel. I just think it looks better down, and then I'll move it if I need the waist swivel as need be. So that's totally up to you, totally your call. So turn the head around and turn the waist around while you're at it. This piece here plugs in to this hole here. You have to kind of make sure it's lined up properly, because there's not a lot of wiggle room, and it feels like you're stressing it a bit. Fold this flap up to cover the face. Fold, it's this piece here that you eventually want on the back, so you can kind of use that as a guide. And unplug these pieces here. Turn the hands in, fold them in. Same on the other side. And forgive me if I'm trying to move quickly. I got 14 minutes on the battery. Let's see if we can do it. Same on the other side. And then you need this to kind of come down. This circle here goes in there, and then this tabs in there. So there's not a lot of tolerance here either, but it will go. It just ain't easy. There it is. That's on a double hinge, so you can tab that one in there. Same on the other side. And that's just a tolerance issue. It's just not the best. And then you can aim these wings out. And then for the feet, you just kind of open up the wings. They're on a sliding mechanism. If you slide them up, you can spin them and then adjust the slider as need be to kind of line it up into that groove. And then slide it back. Make sure your hinges are straight. And then same on the other side. That piece on mine has fallen off every time I've done this transformation. Just as a heads up. Not sure if you will have the same experience. See, it's just like little fit and finish tolerance things. Or a different experience, but that has been the experience I've had. Nothing is broken though. Alright, tab that in, collapse, and if you do it properly, those hip skirts should go inside of that little notch there. And then maybe tap them together in the end. Plug your front pieces on, and you're done. Alright, and then you plug in your guns into this, and you have your alt mode. And I feel like the colors kind of work. I feel like it's a little long in the body. And you have these bits here. They come down for landing gear, and then you have wheels here. And he rolls like a champ, actually. But I feel like the colors work. I feel like the aesthetic look. I've seen pictures, something with people doing wings up like this, and like there's so many hinges here, you can get away with it. One of my complaints with this kind of aesthetically is the amount of hinges and just how visible they are. So I would definitely want to conceal them as much as possible by having them down, but you can of course do whatever you want. So there he is, and I'll get you a size comparison real quick. There's Fall of Cybertron Starscream, Advanced Project Springer. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea. It just looks a little bit long here. And of course, I suppose for good measure, I can load in the missile, and then I can show you, I guess, one more time. It's got some spring behind her, I'll tell you that much. Final thoughts wise, there's a couple things that bug me. There's a couple steps in the transformation that just feel unpolished. It lacks that fit and finish, as my buddy T2RX6 would say. It just feels, you know, it doesn't feel smooth. It doesn't feel professional. But for the most part, you know, most of the things work like they're supposed to. There's just a couple tolerance things, you know, the backpack and the squeaky limb and stuff like that. I wish that they kind of did the knees a little bit better, but I don't really have that many complaints. I wonder how much money went into the spring-loaded mechanism of a firing accessory, because I really think they could have done without that. For the most part, things are pretty much good to go. I do feel like the alt mode is a bit busy, and that the body of the alt mode is a bit long. That would probably be my main complaint, is that it doesn't quite seem like a spaceship to me. It's like, at least like a starfighter type spaceship. You know, it seems more like a cruiser type unit, just how long it is. But you know, and I had to be honest, that's pretty much the only time I'm going to have him in that mode, except when I show you them all together in alt mode here in a day or so. So I can't really complain too much about that. Overall, though, I think he's good. I think the likeness is there. I think that the sculpt is there, and the materials are there. I think the articulation is there. I think that most of the things that you need to work in a figure are there. There's a couple frustrating things along the way, a couple things you wish were different, but all in all, I'm pretty happy with this one, especially in comparison to the other ones. I really like Scattershot, this one, and Afterburner the best so far. I'm a little bit, worried about combining them. Just, how is this one going to turn out? I feel like I got to give them a pep talk like they're going into war. Well, Warbotron Technobots, the day has come. We've had some good times. We've had some bad times, haven't we? But tomorrow is the day where it has to count. Tomorrow is the day where you must band together and make sure that I didn't waste $500 and some. You can have some bad paint apps. You can have a stress mark or two. But on that day, you must pull together and make me happy. Or I'll have to lie to my wife again. You don't want that. I don't want that. All for one for all. Let's do it. Can we do it? You're not making me feel optimistic. But all in all, it's a pretty decent set. I think that at least, regular figure-wise, they range from average to above average. So it's a pretty good set, and he's a good strafe. His aesthetic is really cool. I wish he would have came out earlier so I could have enjoyed him on my shelf a bit longer in robot mode. But you can plan a pretty picnic, but you can't predict the weather. I think it's a pretty solid figure overall. A couple little bells and whistles that maybe they could have done without, and a couple little nooks and crannies they maybe could have filled in, if you know what I'm saying. But outside of that, all in all, it's at least on par with the others, if not better. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.